personally is just the involvement that the coaches and the players have. It's something that we created together that we felt was most applicable to us. And on top of that was able to have us use our platforms and do our due diligence to make sure that we're igniting that change in our community.
All right, let's go to Andy Greder. And just a reminder, if you have a question, send me a message in chat. Andy, go ahead.
Seth, when Mike Sanford came in, you said that the offense would be very similar, but we didn't really know exactly what that was going to be. What did it mean to you to see the Wildcat package stay in the game plans?
I was very excited about it. It's a role I've taken pride in, and I know plays a big factor into our offense and the games we've played in the past. So just to see it continued and used still is something that I've enjoyed and appreciated.
All right, let's go back to Meg Ryan.
Seth, there was that play, I think, right at the end zone where you went out for a little bit. It looked like maybe shoulder or something. Could you kind of walk us through what happened there and how you're feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling great. It was just a little hurt, needed to get a quick breather.
Do we have any more questions for Seth? All right, back to Andy Greder.
Seth, as the offense is playing relatively well and the defense is struggling, obviously you guys are two separate units and mostly separate in the course of a week. How do you try to make up for one side of the ball that might be struggling?
Right. So I think first and foremost, we're a team. The scoreboard doesn't say anything else. So it's everybody doing their part, whether it's individually or collectively, whatever their role is, you got to do it to the best of your ability, bringing your teammates along, making sure we're all supporting each other and holding each other to a high standard, and working our tails off every day to make sure that we're being the best players we can be. So we have, the best performances as possible Saturdays.
Let's go back to Daniel House.
Hey, Seth, as a key leader on the team, how much have you watched Mo grow over the past couple of years into the kind of leader he is today?
Right. And no, Mo's a terrific leader, to say the least. He's one of the hardest workers on the team, and nobody would ever argue that. And I think that's why we all love Mo so much, is not only, his talents, but his work ethic, his leadership, his fight that he has, and energy that he brings every day and helps us get through tough times on and off the field. Mo's really there for everybody on the team, and we love him to death. And it's so exciting to see him prosper and also become the leader that he is today.
Let's go to Mike Grimm. Mike.
Seth, through 2 weeks here, how do you guys as a team kind of fight through what has been a rough go of it here, and how big would a win be to just get that new taste in your mouth?
Right. So, just making sure that we're continuing to fix our details, that starts in practice, off the field, making sure we're always locked in, changing our best. It's about, fixing the process, so that way we get a better result. And, the result is something that we got to take and learn from every week, and go back to work based off of that.
Let's go to Tony Liebert. Tony.
Oh, I know you've probably been asked this like a million times, but when your role with the offense is only a handful of plays, how do you stay locked in on the sideline when you don't know when your number is getting called necessarily?
Right. So making sure I stay locked in, supporting my teammates, whether I'm on or off the field, is something that, we pride ourselves on. We're there for each other. We go through every day in practice, off season, together as one. So, game time comes, it doesn't matter who's on the field. We're all locked in together, in it for each other.
Let's go back to Meg Ryan.
Hi, Seth, not to beat the drum on the voting thing again, but I'm kind of curious just your thoughts about, getting tomorrow off for election day. And I think that's like even an NCAA wide thing at this point. And it's kind of maybe a new development. Why do you think that that's important to kind of give that opportunity to student athletes, to have that day completely free from athletic activities, at least, so they can, focus on that?
Right. I think that's something that I do appreciate that they extended to us. It gives people an opportunity to sort of relieve themselves of their responsibilities to go do that. I know in the past it's been hard because let's say you have, class workouts and this and that, and then, time comes and it's too late. Very understandable how packed student athletes schedules are. To sort of free up some of that time is something that we all appreciate.
All right, let's go to Eric Strack. Eric.
Seth, you've had kind of a windy road to get to where you are right now. Are there any moments specifically that kind of stick out to you that kind of led you to today? And then on top of that, you have the chance to play one more year now. Have you put any thought into that? Is that something that you've maybe even made a decision on early?
Right. So to answer the first question, I'd say there was never a specific moment. It was sort of the, togetherness of all of it, all the moments, just appreciating all the small times, ups and downs, just using that to know that that's the reason I am who I am today. So I appreciate all the good times, the bad times, the people that were there through it all. And then the second question with the 6th year, it's definitely something I thought about. Honestly, I'm just taking it day by day, focusing on this season right now.
All right, let's go to Elise Menaker with the Big Ten Network. Go ahead, Elise.
Hey, so I'm going to ask another voting question. Sorry. But about that, in the past, have you voted, and just what has changed, like, as you grow, learn more, talk to your teammates, have the campaign, just all of that, when it comes to voting, and just your thoughts about this now as we see even the steps the NCAA is taking with this?
Right. I'd say the biggest thing that changed was access to information. It's a lot easier to get answers to questions you may have, especially, out of state guys who aren't from here and are curious about how that whole process works, and registration, people who have never voted before, because, you got to think about it. A lot of times freshmen are 17, just turned 18, maybe haven't had a chance to vote yet, and they're in college by themselves and don't really have anybody to direct them with that. And so I feel like the biggest changes has been the information and the reaching out to, answer any questions that may be had, while otherwise in the past it was sort of, you're on your own, figure it out.
Looks like we have one more question. We'll go back to Mike Grimm.
Seth, I wanted to ask you too about, you're the Wildcat quarterback, you've scored touchdowns, but you play and practice a lot at receiver. You've gotten some time at receiver. Are you still working to hope to get a more expanded role as a pass catcher too? And what do you see on the horizon from that standpoint for you personally?
Yes, sir. Honestly, I am. That's definitely a role I want to break into on the team. And I'm just keep working until whatever happens. Always got to be ready, especially in this wild of a year. But on top of that, just doing what I can to help the team.
One quick follow-up too. I know it's early in the week, but what can you tell us? What do you see from the Fighting Illini, just looking ahead?
Right. They're a great team, coaches and players across the board, definitely very skillful. With that, we just got to make sure that we're focused, locked in, and working our tails off so that way we can be at our best on Saturday.
All right. Thank you, Seth. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. As a reminder, we will have Tanner Morgan here in 2 minutes. Please use the Seth Green link to access that press conference. So thank you all very much.
Appreciate y'all.